everyone. Hi, thank you so much for joining me today, and a really warm welcome to the video. Now, I'm really excited for this video because I'm going to be showing you how I got this makeup look on my face, which I think is lovely. I'm really pleased with it. I think it's a lovely look for going into autumn. But the thing with this makeup look today is that I'm using different products on both halves of my face. That's right, on one half of my face I used all drugstore affordable products, and on the other half of my face I used my expensive high-end products. And I don't know about you, but I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. And when I say to you that one side of my face costs £392.63 for the products, and the other half of my face costs £133.94, that is a £258 difference. Now, do you think that one side of my face looks £258 better than the other half of my face? I don't know. Now, the point of this video isn't to say that drugstore makeup is better than high end. I think it can be in some cases, depending on the products. It's not to say that, you get what you pay for, because I don't think that's the case either these days. I think in the last 5 to 10 years, affordable drugstore makeup has improved so much. It's come such a long way. And I think that videos like this, I did one before last year as well, a video like this, a half and half. I'll link it below in the description if you missed it. But videos like this just prove that really, once these products are on our faces, can anybody tell the difference? Really, I don't think they can, personally. Now, disclaimer, we all have different skin types, don't we? I'm combination oily. I'm 49 years old. I have the fine lines, the wrinkles. I have enlarged pores. I have rosacea on my cheeks, forehead lines, the usual things that we get when we're in our late 40s. I have them. I've never had Botox or fillers or anything like that. So, I've got things that I'm working with here. So, we are all different. We do all have different concerns and different skins. So things, just because something looks a certain way on someone doesn't mean it'll look that way on someone else. So it is very important that I tell you that. I did use different brushes on the left side of my face than the right, just so that there's no cross-contamination. I wanted to keep the test as fair as possible. So I'm going to show you now the full application process and how all of these products applied to my face. And then once I've got the makeup on, I'm going to do a check-in after 1 or 2 hours, just to show you how all the products have settled into my skin. Has anything changed? Has anything oxidized? Is everything still looking the same, or is anything worn off? Things like that. And then I'll see you again at the end of the video with my overall thoughts and what I think. So sit back, relax, get a drink. It's a bit of an experiment, but I hope you enjoy it, and let me know what you think. And if you've ever tried doing an experiment like this yourself, I'd love to hear about it. So on with the application. Now, an important point just before I get started: I am not saying that these products are the same as each other. I am not saying they are dupes. This is not a dupes video. The ingredients are different, the finishes are different, the shades even sometimes are different. However, once they are on the face, in my opinion, I believe you can get a very similar look, as you can see, but I am not saying that they are dupes. Okay, enjoy the video. So for my high-end foundation today, I'm going to use my Haus Labs foundation. Yes, that's right, Haus Labs, Lady Gaga's brand. Now, this little bottle is actually the most expensive foundation that I own. It's £42 for this bottle. And I was actually influenced by Robert Welsh to get this. So if you don't know Robert, he is a makeup artist here on YouTube, as well as other places as well. He's really good. I really like him. I've taken a lot of advice from him over the years, and he has a similar skin type to me. He's sort of combination oily, and he said that this foundation, it just works whatever is happening with his skin on the day. If he's having an oily day or a dry day, or if he needs it to last a long time through the day, this one does exactly what he wants and it just works. So I thought, right, if it's good enough for him, I'm gonna go ahead and get it myself. So I have this in the shade 130 Light Rosy. Don't know if you can see that there, but I'll list it down in the description box below. So my high-end side is going to be my left. Okay, so did you get that earlier? So this is going to be the high-end side. Now for the more budget side, I'm going to use a foundation that I'm sure many of you will have heard of. You've probably even used it yourself. It's been out for many, many years. And I first found this when I was in my 20s, my early 20s. I just bought it at Boots. And again, it just worked for me. I mean, I know I was a lot younger. I was in my 20s, but I still use it now sometimes. And it's just one of those foundations that just seems to... It goes on nicely, it applies well, the colour is a really good match for me, and it just seems to do what I want it to do through the day. And it is, any guesses? It's good old L'Oreal True Match, and I have this in the shade 2N. And again, I've heard lots of makeup artists on YouTube talk about this foundation and that they do have it in their professional kit. If they're going out, if they're doing weddings and things, they take a few bottles of this because it comes in loads of different shades. You know, and if they're struggling to get a shade match, I've heard that they use this. So let's put these two up against each other then, shall we? I'm going to start with the Haus Labs, and I'm going to give it a little bit of a shake, as I always do with these things. And I'm going to do 2 pumps on the back of my hand, and I'm going to apply this with my Bobbi Brown Full Coverage Foundation brush. And I'm going to try my best only to get it on the left half of my face, which is harder than it looks. I've got to say, I could do with drawing a line down, couldn't I? I did a video like this last year where I did a half and half face. I'll link it below if you didn't see it. But that was the first time in my life I'd ever attempted to do this half and half thingy, and it's harder than it looks. Right, let's get a bit more on here now to just do my forehead. Being careful not to cross the line. I don't cross any lines here on my channel. Well, I try not to anyway. All right, there we go. Okay, I'm going to just put my glasses on and check this through. Okay, so yeah, I think that has gone on nicely. It's smoothed out my skin, it's evened out my redness. I mean, you can see compared to the other side, that's just given me a lovely, nice, smooth base, hasn't it, for the rest of my products to go on top of. Now, in this video, I'm going to try, on the high-end side, I'm going to try and use a high-end brush. As I said, this is Bobbi Brown. On the budget side, I'm going to try and use brushes that I got from the drugstore. So on the side where I'm using the L'Oreal True Match, I'm going to use my e.l.f. Complexion Duo brush, okay? Just so that we can see, you know, any differences that the brush might make. So give this one a little shake as well. And I'm going to just put the same amount on my hand. And I mean, yeah, the colour is slightly different, I will say. The colour is slightly different. But by the time I have finished and got the rest of my products on my face, it all kind of blends in together and you can't really tell. So I did put all of these products on the other day because I wanted to test it out before I did this video. And yeah, after a while, you really can't tell that I'm wearing 2 different colour foundations. There we go. That's gone on nicely, and I'll do a bit more, just a little bit more there for up here. Again, keeping that line in place. Right, I love this brush, this e.l.f. Complexion Duo brush. I mean, I like the Bobbi Brown. I like this one as well. I tend to use all of my brushes interchangeably. And I'd say I've probably got an even mix of high-end brushes and more affordable drugstore brushes. And sometimes I think, yeah, sometimes you can get a bit of shedding and stuff from the sort of cheaper brushes. But with this one and with my Bailey brushes that I get off Amazon, I haven't found that to be the case. If you don't know about the Bailey brushes, I'll link that video below as well that I did on those. Fantastic brushes for really, really good prices. So there you go. That is my foundation on the budget side. So again, I'm just going to pop the glasses on and just check that I've blended everything properly. Okay, yeah, nice. So, okay, yeah, as I said, the colour is slightly different, but can you see the smoothness? I've got a nice sort of medium, I'd say they're both medium coverage foundations, and I would say that they are both buildable as well. Today, for me, I feel that this is just the right level of coverage. I don't particularly want to build it up any more than this, but I know that I could if I wanted to, because I have used both of these foundations before, and I know that they do both build beautifully on my skin. Okay, so let me just tell you as well, prices. This foundation is £42, and as I say, it is the most expensive foundation that I own. This one is £11.99. Okay, so that is quite a big price difference. I am not saying they're the same. They are not the same. The ingredients are different. Okay, I'm not saying they're the same. But on the face, I think, in my opinion, personally, I'm getting a similar effect from them. Okay, that's what I'm saying here. So let's move on now to concealer, which would be the next step in my makeup application process. So for my high-end concealer, you might know this if you've seen me before. I'd say it's one of my favourite concealers from the high-end category, and it's the Estée Lauder Double Wear Concealer. And I've got this in the shade 1N. So that will be going on this side of my face. And for my drugstore side, I'm keeping it with L'Oreal, and it's the Infallible 24-Hour Concealer. And I've got this in the shade Cashmere 327 Cashmere. I'm not saying they're the same as each other. As you can see, the colour is again slightly different, but once they're on the face, you will see for yourselves, you really can't tell much difference. And these both last for hours and hours and hours as well. I'd say the staying power on these is as good as each other. So I'm going to take my Estée Lauder one now, nice big fat doe foot applicator, and I'm just going to put a couple of dots in there and a couple of dots down there. Usually I might go down the middle, but I'm not doing that today, obviously, because I need to keep the demarcation line, don't I? So for my high-end brush, I'm going to use my BK Beauty concealer brush and just tap that in as I usually would. Just tap it and blend it in that center area there, just where I can get the hollows, and down a little bit too. And then these nasolabial folds here, I just like to brighten them up a little bit too, just to give the optical illusion of everything being pulled back rather than pushed forward. There. There, yeah, that's nice. That's given a lovely brightening effect, hasn't it, on that side of my face. So let's go in with the L'Oreal now on the other side. And again, with this concealer, you've got another really nice big doe foot applicator. It's a bit messy, isn't it? Oh dear. I've had this a while. It's well used. This one is in my collection. So we're going to do the same. 2 dots there, 2 dots there. And already you can see that this shade is slightly warmer in tone, isn't it? But once it's all blended in, it'll be all right. I'm going to go in with this e.l.f. Complexion Duo brush again with the concealer end. And just go and blend, blend, blend. There we go. I have got to go out later today, actually. I've got a doctor's appointment. So I'm going to be going out, leaving the house with different makeup on different sides of my face. But to be honest with you, I'm okay with that because I don't think anyone's going to notice. I really don't. So there we go. That is that blended in. And I mean, you saw, didn't you, when I first applied it, the colour was different to the Estee Lauder. But actually, now it's blended in, I think it's all sort of settling down, and I don't think anybody would be shocked, you know, to see that I'm wearing two different colours. Um, what do you think? So moving on then to powder. Now I'm going to use a setting powder. I like a pressed powder to take out with me in the handbag for touch-ups during the day. But in the mornings when I'm first applying my makeup, I prefer to use a loose powder. And for my high-end side, I'm using my Laura Mercier translucent loose setting powder. Very, very famous, very well known, isn't it, this powder? It's been out for a long time. And on the drugstore side, I'm going to use my Revlon ColourStay Blot powder. And this one, it just says it's in the shade 001. But it's the Revlon ColourStay Blot powder. So these are just both, you know, loose powders. You do get more in the Laura Mercier one. I will say you get 29, hang on, let's just get the glasses. You get 29 grams in the Laura Mercier, and you get 15 grams in the Revlon. So you are getting less with the Revlon. Now, what are the prices on these? £38.50 for Laura Mercier and £9.99 for Revlon. Okay, so even with the difference in amount there, the Revlon one, it still works out a bit cheaper, doesn't it? So anyway, let me get on to the application now. So Laura Mercier, you get this puff, this powder puff inside, but then when you take it out, all the holes are just there. There's nothing, there's no sifter or anything to keep the powder in, so you do have to be a bit careful. So I take the lid and I just tap out a few drops of powder, and for my brush, I'm going to use my BK Beauty powder brush. What is this? The 104, this one is. And I'm just going to take the powder in the bristles and just go over that foundation and concealer on the left side of my face. My left, your right. Okay. That's really hard to do because usually with powder, I want to go down the T-zone, don't I? But I'm having to be a bit more careful today. But there we go. That's that side of my face powdered nicely. And I'm going to now do the other side. Oh dear, this video is going to be a long one, isn't it? So let's go in with the Revlon Blot powder. Now, something I love about this one is it's got this, look, you see this little plastic lip here? So when you pull that, you see, that is what reveals the holes inside. So it doesn't make a mess. You can close it off, and I love that. I don't know why the more high-end powders don't give you this as well. So let's just tap out about the same amount into this lid. So you don't need loads. And I'm going to go in with my Sephora Collection brush. This is the Sephora Collection is Sephora's more affordable range. But it's nice. They do some nice brushes actually. So let's get that in there. Tap it off and do the same thing on this side. So, okay, on the forehead, over that concealer, and just down the face there. I'm going to leave it there for the powder today. So far then, we've done foundation, concealer, and powder. And what do you think? I think it's looking all right so far. Now then, I'm going to use these same brushes to do my bronzers. And that is what I would do next in my routine. I do bronzer just to add a little bit more dimension back into my face. Now, for my high-end side, I'm going to use one of my all-time favourite bronzers, and it's my Lancôme one. This is the CE Skin Transforming Bronzer in the shade 02 Light. And this bronzer, how much is this? It's £45, this one is. And for my affordable side, I'm going to use my good old Maybelline City Bronzer, and this is £8.99. And I've got this in the shade medium warm. medium warm, that says. And let me just show you the colours next to each other. Now, I don't know how it's going to look on camera, but to me, they're pretty similar. Okay, on camera, the Lancôme one looks warmer, doesn't it? And the Maybelline one looks cooler. But once they're on my face, they look very similar. Also, the Lancôme pan size is larger, isn't it, than the Maybelline? Let me see what the difference actually is. So with the Lancôme one, you're getting 10 grams. So it's 10 grams of product. And with the Maybelline, we're getting 8 grams of product. So you do get less with the Maybelline, but you know, it's still more affordable, isn't it? So let's go in with my Lancôme bronzer on the same BK Beauty brush that I used to do the powder. And tap off any excess and just go around that outer perimeter of my face, being very careful not to go on the wrong side. Got to concentrate today, got to have my wits about me. And I'd usually do a bit on the chin as well, but I don't know, that's going to be quite hard. I think I won't. I think I'll just go around sort of this C shape area here. I think I'll just do that and a bit on the side of the nose. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with the Maybelline City Bronzer on that same Sephora Collection brush. Okay, get about the same amount. And there's no kick up or anything from this. I think the drugstore products, especially the Maybelline powder products, they are fantastic. And this was my favourite bronzer actually for a long time. But look at that. I love the tone of this colour as well. So good. Yeah, a bit on the side of the nose. And I mean, is there a bit more pigment in this than the Lancôme side, maybe? I feel like I'm not having to build this side up as much as I did the last side. There we go. What do you think? Gonna put my glasses on now and have a proper look close up. So, yeah, that's really, really nice, isn't it? I think that's given me just a nice, healthy, warm glow, but not too orange. So I do like the tone of both of these because they're not too warm. They never go orangey or anything like that. So, yeah, I think so far it's looking good. And I don't think you could tell that I've got different makeups on my left and my right. Do you? Can you tell? Right, so let's move on to blush now. And for my high-end side, I'm going to use one of my favourite high-end blushes, which is one of the NARS powder blushes. And this shade is called Orgasm Edge. I know. Don't like the name, but I love the product. And it's just this lovely matte peachy pink colour. And on the drugstore side, I'm going to use one of these Morphe Cheek Thrills palettes. And this one is Beach Bonfire is the shade of this. And you get some different finishes in these palettes. You get 3 blushes. So you get I'll hold it this way. You get a powder and then you get 2 cream shades. So you get a cream shade with some shimmer in it and more of a matte cream shade. Well, today I'm just going to use the powder here because in my opinion, this shade in this palette is very similar to my NARS one when it is on my cheeks, and I'll show you. So for the blush, for the brushes, I've got 2 of these exact same Morphe brushes that I'm going to use. So let me do the NARS side first and just apply that to this upper cheekbone area out here. I just love this colour. It's gorgeous. If you have like fair skin, fair to medium skin, it's lovely. And I like the fact that there's no shimmer in it as well. I've been really enjoying a more matte blush lately. Okay, so going into this shade in the Morphe Cheek Thrills palette on my other brush that's the same. Take a bit of that. Again, not really getting any kick up from that. So these textures in these Morphe palettes are lovely. Wait till you see the eyeshadow as well. Talking about Morphe palettes. Very excited to show you that. Right, and there we go. So as you can see, can't really tell a difference. I mean, some of you might even prefer this side. I don't know. Let me know if you do. Okay, so let's move on now to my eyebrows. Now, I need to go and get them done. I get them tattooed, you know, nanobladed once a year, and it's coming up to the time where I'm due to have that done. So they do need filling in with pencil. And on the high-end side, I'm going to use the Benefit Precisely My Brow pencil in shade number 3. So that will be going over here. And on the affordable side, I'm going to use my number 7, the skinny eyebrow pencil that number 7 do. What shade are you? I don't know, but it will be listed below for you. Okay, so let's take the Benefit one. It's a nice retractable pencil there. And I'm just going to go over my tattooed area just to give a bit more definition over the brows. Oh, do you know, I'm feeling so much better now the weather's cooled down, aren't you? Oh, dear me. Where I live in the Midlands in England, we had, I think it was 5 heat waves this summer. Was it 5? Some weather experts were saying 6. Just depends who you listen to. But anyway, it's too many for me. Now I'm going to go in with the spoolie on this side and just blend over the top of that. So now, as I film this, we're sort of coming towards the end of August, and it has cooled down quite a bit now, which pleases me greatly because I don't like the heat. I can't sit here and do makeup videos in the heat because it all just melts off, you know. So that's why during the summer I wasn't really filming many makeup videos at all, because I just get so tired as well in the heat. Does that affect anyone else? Where you just feel like you've got no energy and like you just feel drained. There we go. And again, this one also has a spoolie on the end. So let's go over this. Lovely. Now, price difference for the eyebrow products. The Benefit one, let me just find it. The Benefit one is £27. The Boots one is £10.75. And I didn't tell you the prices of the blushes, did I? So the NARS one is £36.50 on the NARS website. And the Morphe one, £19. So £19, £36.50. With this one, you do get 3 shades as well. I'm giving you the RRP prices, so that you know the usual retail price on the company's websites. You may well be able to find all of these products discounted on other websites, so just to let you know that as well. Now I'm going to move on to eyes, and I'm going to use eyeshadow primers on both of my eyes. And I think whatever price point you're working within, I would always say use an eyeshadow primer because they just make your eyeshadows last a lot longer. They help with the intensity of the colour payoff that you get as well. And I just wouldn't use eyeshadow without a primer, especially if you have, like me, oily skin. I can get oily lids, and I've got hooded eyes as well. A primer really does help. So for the high end, I'm going to use the very well-known Urban Decay Primer Potion, and this is just the original one. They do it in a couple of different shades now, don't they? But I've just got the original one. And for the affordable side, I'm going to use the Milani eyeshadow primer. Again, I've been going on about this. You may have seen me use it in previous videos. It's brilliant. It's really, really good. And price difference, this one is £18 currently, and this one is £11.25. Again, you do get a bit more in this tube than this tube, don't you? But to be honest with you, I mean, I've never gone through a full one of this. You use so little of it, it will last you months and months and months and months, maybe even years. I don't know. So let's get started then with the Urban Decay. So you do get your applicator with this one, doe foot applicator. So I just apply a decent amount just all over the lid there. And then I just blend it in with my ring finger. There we go. Just like that. and it kind of cancels out any discoloration you might have if you have any visible veins or anything like that. You know, it just sort of cancels it out, as does this one. Now with this one you don't get the applicator, so it's fine, it doesn't bother me. I just go straight onto my ring finger, so just a tiny amount, and just dot that over my lid. In fact, I think I'll go in with a little bit more. Yeah, that's better. But yeah, the shade is about the same, isn't it? There we go. So that's both eyelids nicely primed, ready for eyeshadow. So moving on to the part of the video that I am the most excited about today. Now, do you know about Makeup by Mario's Master Mattes palettes? These, have you seen these? Just in the lovely Makeup by Mario sleek white packaging. They've been really popular. He came out with the original first a few years ago. I think it was about 5 or 6 years ago, and they're all matte. They are neutral matte brown shadows. Okay, this was the original, and then a couple of years after that he came out with one that is more neutral toned, which is this one. So as you can see, we've got a warm and a sort of neutral leaning cool, and they are all matte. They are beautiful. These shadows are lovely. They are soft. They are so easy to work with. They are very blendable. And if I just want an easy makeup day, I'm not doing anything special, I will reach for one of these. Or you can build them up and have a sort of more deeper smoky eye for evening as well. And I do tend to use these as the base for most eyeshadow looks that I'm doing. If I want a shimmer, I'll just grab a shimmer from another palette or from a single eyeshadow, but these two make great bases, okay, for any eyeshadow look. The problem though with these Makeup by Mario palettes is that they are £55. Okay, £55, which is okay for a high-end eyeshadow palette with this number of shades. I mean, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12 shades. You know, it's not a massive Natasha Denona size palette, is it? But it's not a little 4-pan palette either. It's sort of mid-size. But it is £55, which is quite pricey. Well, the other day when I was out shopping in Boots, I saw on the Morphe stand these palettes. Now, these are all matte shades. They did 3 different colorways, I think. There were these 2 and there was a third one as well. Now, this one, as you can see, they are warm neutral shades. This one is called the Tailored Nudes. And this one is called Underslated, as they are that sort of cooler, neutral to cool toned, sort of more grey leaning shades, okay? And I saw these in Boots and I thought, I wonder if they are anything like the Makeup by Mario Master Mattes palettes. And I had a look and I swatched them and I thought, actually, they did remind me of them, so I went ahead and I bought them. And it's these, here they are. This is the Tailored Nudes, and this is the Underslated, it's upside down, the Underslated palette, and they are both by Morphe. And these palettes are not £55. These palettes are £16 each, okay? And you don't get 12 shades though, like you do with the Makeup by Mario. You get 6 shades. See, so this is the Underslated one, and I will show you the Tailored Nudes as well, and this is the Tailored Nudes. So as you can see, they're basic, matte, neutral, you know, warm, cool, leaning shadows. That again, they are beautiful, they are soft, they are blendable, they are all the good things. And so I bought them and I brought them home and I just wanted to compare. So I got my Makeup by Mario original Master Mattes palette and I had a play around and I did get a very similar look on my eyes. Now, I'm not saying they're the same. I am not saying they are dupes. The ingredients are different, but I did get a very similar look on my eyes with these shades. Okay. I'm not going to use those ones today, though. I'm going to use these today. So my Makeup by Mario Master Mattes, the neutrals. I'm going to use this one today because I think more people that watch my videos tend to prefer my cooler toned eyeshadow looks. I think because there aren't that many cool toned people on YouTube, whereas I'm quite neutral tone, so I can do cool or warm. But again, with these two, I did get a very, very similar look on my eyes. And okay, you're only getting half the number of shades, so you're not getting as much product. But to be honest with you, when I have a palette this size, I only regularly use like 4, 5, 6 shades out of it anyway. So you've got them all here, haven't you? And it's, again, it's beautiful packaging. You've got your nice mirror in both of them. I can't fault the packaging on either one of these. And I mean, if you're traveling and you want to be minimal and just take a small one, take your Morphe, you know what I mean? So anyway, I'm going to get started. And for the high-end side, I'm going to start by using this shade in the middle here. And it's kind of like a pinky brown, a pinky mauvey brown. It's gorgeous. And to me, I think it is very similar to this shade here. You see? When you compare them, they are very similar, aren't they? Just do a little swatch of that to show you. They're not identical. In fact, that first swatch, I'm just going to go over that. It didn't show up very much. They're not identical, but they're similar enough that you can get a similar look. So let me show you. Right, Makeup by Mario on a MAC 217 into this pinky brown shade here. Bring my mirror further forward so I can see. And I'm just going to run this through the crease area on my left side of my face. So just windscreen wiper motions there. Gorgeous, lovely, smooth, buttery, blendable, just beautiful shadows these are. Have you used these Makeup by Mario palettes? If you have, please let me know what you think. I'd be really interested to hear your thoughts. But yeah, I mean, look at that. That's just great, isn't it? And you could, and I do sometimes, just leave it as that, just as a wash of colour. Now, I'm going to go into the Morphe palette now, into the similar shade here on another MAC 217. This is the longer handle one, but it's the same brush. So let's go into this shade here and just do the same thing on this eyelid. And once they're on the eyes, don't they look similar? They really do. I mean, in the pan and when you swatch them on your hand, they are slightly different. But I don't know what happens once they get on your eyes, you know, once you blend them in with a brush. But they do look very, very similar, don't they? And I don't know. I mean, I know things look different on camera sometimes, so I don't know if you're actually seeing what I'm seeing. So this is the side the brush I used with this eye, and this is the brush I used with this eye, just so that there's no cross-contamination or anything. But I don't know. To me, I think that is pretty similar. Now, I'm going to use another shade now. I'm going to deepen things up a bit. So let me see which other shade. I'm just comparing now the two palettes. So on the Morphe side, I've just been in with this shade. I'm going to go in with this shade next. So let me just see on the Mario palette, which is the most similar to that. I think it would be this shade here on the end. Okay, so I'm going to use a flat shading brush like this in the Makeup by Mario palette. I'm just going to place that in the outer corner, the outer third. Because I've got hooded eyes, I don't do any fancy, you know, number 7s, they call it, don't they, or anything like that. I just deepen up that outer corner a little bit and then go back in with a big fluffy blending brush at the end and just blend it all together. Okay, so it just gives it a bit of depth, doesn't it? And then, as I say, I'm just going to take a clean, fluffy blending brush and just blend it all in like that. Oh, these shades are lovely, aren't they? And as we're going into autumn now as well, I just think it's you know, you can't beat your neutrals in autumn, in my opinion. I mean, yeah, I love my colours as well in autumn. I love my sort of berry tones and greens and things, but I don't know, there's just something about a nice neutral eye, isn't there? Okay, so that was that side. Now, for my drugstore side, I'm going to go into this shade here on, again, another flat brush similar to the one that I used on the other side. So this shade here. And I'm just going to do exactly the same thing. Just put it in that outer corner or outer third. Bring it up slightly into the crease. And then do some blending. I've actually got a Morphe brush here, actually a big fluffy brush I'm going to blend this side with. And I mean, you could say that the Morphe side has actually got a bit more pigmentation to it, that the shadows are a little bit more pigmented. Actually, I think I would say that. And okay, I think now I look at it, I think the Morphe side, those browns are a little bit more rosy toned. I think this side is a little bit more rosy toned than this side, but you know, that's all right, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, sometimes with makeup, when you put it on, if you just give it like 20 minutes, half an hour, the chemistry in your skin sort of mixes in with everything and everything sort of settles in and everything just looks the same anyway after a while, I've found. So I am going to come back on and do another check-in after about an hour or two, just so that you can see how it has all settled, has anything oxidized, you know, anything like that. So we'll see how the eyeshadows are looking then. Right, now for the inner corner, what am I going to do? I'm going to take a pencil brush like this and I'm going to go into the lightest shade in the Makeup by Mario palette. And I'm just going to put that in the inner corner, run it across the lower lid a little bit as well, just to brighten things up in there. And I'm going to do the same again with a different pencil brush. So in the Morphe palette, oh, there we go. So again, the lightest shade in this palette on a pencil brush. Exactly the same thing over here. Just run it in the inner corner and across my lid slightly. There. Usually, when I've done these videos before, I've found that the drugstore eyeshadows are not quite as pigmented, so you have to build them up a bit more. You know, you have to keep going back and building them up. It's not the case with these Morphe shadows. These are fantastic and they rival any high-end eyeshadow in my collection. They really do, and I think that's lovely on both sides. I really do. So let's move on to eyeliner now. And the one that I'm going to use on the high-end side is very fancy high-end. It's the most expensive eyeliner I own, and it is by Dior. And it's, what's this called? It's the Dior Show Stilo. It's the waterproof eyeliner, and the shade is just called Matte Brown. And the price of this one is £28. And on the affordable side, I'm going to use my NYX Epic Wear eyeliner. And what are you called? Deepest Brown. The shade of this is just called Deepest Brown. So the Dior one, as I said, is £28. The NYX one is £7. So let me show you them. Oh, let me just hang on, get the right end, Rebecca. Here we go. So this is the Dior. It's a nice retractable pencil. I'll just show it you on my hand. So it's a very nice, just a matte, deep, dark brown. So that's the Dior one. Let me show you the NYX Epic Wear. Again, this is a nice retractable pencil. Deepest Brown, again, just a nice deep dark brown, isn't it? And it's got great staying power too, this next one. So with my eyeliner then, this is the Dior one, I just line my upper lid on that outer half and then just give it a blend. That's all I do. I'm not going to do any wings or flicks or anything. I mean, I do like wings and flicks. I think they look lovely on other people. On certain eye shapes, they look lovely, but I'm not keen on them on my particular eye shape. I'm going to do a little bit of a tight line underneath as well. There we go. Just deepened up that lash line a bit, hasn't it? And then the end of this Dior pencil has a little smudger like that. So I'm just going to run that over just to soften that line a little bit. There, nice. And now I'm going to do exactly the same with the NYX. Okay. There we go. Lovely deep dark brown and a little tight line as well. Yeah, nice. Now, does this have a... No, this one... Oh, it does. Oh, what's that? It's just come off. Oh, have I broke it? I might have broke it. Ah, yeah, I think it's supposed to have a smudger, but I think I might have done something to it that's broken it. Oh no, that's a pain, isn't it? I think I'm going to use the pencil brush that I used before. It was fine, it was clean, it just had a bit of that ivory shadow on. But all I'm going to do is just run this over just to smudge it out, soften that line. Okay, so yeah, that is something I will say actually, a difference between high-end and drugstore. It is the packaging. I did a video a while ago called My Frustrations with Drugstore Makeup. I'll link it below if you didn't see it. But on the whole, I am a big fan of drugstore makeup. I think it has come such a long way in the last 5 to 10 years. And you can get some really, really fantastic products. However, the packaging still lets it down, I feel. I've had drugstore items where the product has been very good, but the packaging has been a bit weak and a bit flimsy and it might have broken. And then once the packaging is broken on sort of powder products and liquid products, that's it. You have to throw it away because you haven't got that airtight container for it anymore, so it's going to go off. So the packaging does matter. You know, if it means that your products are not going to last as long because the packaging isn't as secure, then that's an issue, isn't it? So there's that. Anyway, what are you thinking so far? I'm thinking it's looking all right. Now, mascaras. So for the high-end side, I'm going to use a mascara that's pretty new to me, actually. I used it in a recent video that I did on Lisa Eldridge, and it is her Kitten Lash, Lisa Eldridge Kitten Lash Mascara in black, because this is probably my favourite high-end mascara at the moment. And going up against Lisa Eldridge is the Maybelline Lash Sensational Body Mascara. And I have this in the black waterproof. I'm putting these up against each other. Now, the reason I have this in waterproof is because my usual preference for a mascara is either waterproof or tubing, because I have oily skin, oily lids, and I've got hooded eyes, and they do tend to smudge a lot on me. So that's why, if there's a waterproof option available, that's the one I go for. Lisa Eldridge does not have a waterproof option available, and I wanted to try the mascara for the video that I did on her products. So, and I do find that this doesn't smudge actually. It's a really nice one. And to me, I get the same effect from both of these mascaras. If you like that feathery, fluttery, sort of natural-ish, but not really natural, is it? You don't get big, bold, kapow lashes with either of these, or certainly I don't. But I do get that lovely, soft, fluttery, feathery, fanned out, just a nice lash effect from both of these. So I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to start with this one. It's got a slight curve in the brush. And I'm just going to apply it over here. And After just one coat of this mascara, you might think, oh, is that it? You might be a bit disappointed, but it is very buildable and you can build it up as much as you want and it doesn't clump. I haven't found this ever to go clumpy, which is nice. So there we go. That's how that's looking just now. It's just a nice sort of not too much, but it's like those, you know, natural-ish days where you just want something that's fairly, you know, fairly subtle, fairly sort of daytime appropriate. I think that is really nice. And now on the other side, I'm going to go in with the Maybelline. And this also has, it's one of those sort of hourglass shaped ones. They're both that sort of plasticky wand material, which I do quite like. And let's put some of this on the lashes. Maybelline mascaras are great, aren't they? I think they're probably, apart from L'Oreal Panorama is my favourite mascara at the moment, but it expired. I had to throw it away. And because I've got all these other mascaras in my collection, I haven't repurchased it yet. I mean, I think I probably will in the future when I've gone through these. But mascaras, you have to use them up, don't you, or they go off. So I thought I'm going to use the ones I've got before I repurchase that one. And that's the Maybelline. Now, the Maybelline is giving me more volume, isn't it, than the Lisa Eldridge. So I'm going to do another coat on the Lisa Eldridge just to see if I can even up the amount of volume here. This one comes in a lovely brown shade as well, called Burnt Umber, if you prefer a brown mascara. But then these come in lots of colours as well, don't they, these days? But no, I must admit, I am a black mascara person. I do prefer black lashes. So there we go. That's the eyelashes on. What do you think? Now, the last step in my makeup routine is my lips. And for today, I'm going to use a lip liner. I've got a lip liner for each side and a lipstick, okay? And I am not saying that these are the same again, but once they're on, I think it's a similar look. I really do. And for the high-end side, for my lip liner, I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury lip liner. What does she call these? It's a lip cheat, isn't it? Or something like that. Yeah, lip cheat in the shade Super Size Me. And this is going up against, it's another Maybelline product. It's the Colour Sensational lip pencil from Maybelline. And this one is in the shade Almond Rose. So I'm going to be putting these two up against each other. Now, have you ever tried applying lip liner to just one half of your mouth? It's quite difficult, but I'm going to try for science, you see. For the experiment, I'm going to do my best. And I need to stop talking now or else it'll all go badly wrong. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, there we go. So that's nice, isn't it? Nice shade. Super Size Me. Nice, yeah, nice colour. It lasts a decent length of time. I like it. I'm not a massive fan of Charlotte Tilbury products, to be honest with you. I think they're okay. I think there's one or two that I really do like. Most of them, I just think they're all right. They're okay. I think they're generally overpriced for what they are. But I do like these lip liners anyway. So there we are, Charlotte Tilbury Super Size Me going up against Maybelline Colour Sensational in Almond Rose. And I like this because it's retractable. You don't ever need to sharpen it, so that's a bonus. Bonus point for Maybelline there. It's a slightly lighter colour, the Maybelline one is. Yeah. Okay, so they're both, I'd say, rosy pinks. The Maybelline is slightly lighter though. But once we've got the lipsticks on over the top, I think it'll all even itself out. So for the lipstick, I'm going to keep it with Charlotte Tilbury, and I'm going to use one of her matte finish lipsticks. And this one is in the shade, let me just check, something Salma, I think it is. Secret Salma. Yeah, Secret Salma. And it's Charlotte Tilbury's matte matte lipstick. So the bullet's shaped like this, isn't it? With the flat squared off edge. And I'm going to put this one up against a Revlon lipstick, good old Revlon lipsticks. And this one I've got in the shade Candid Rose 805. So let me just show you how they compare. Again, they're not identical, but they're very, very similar. This one obviously is a matte finish. This one is not. This is more of a satin finish. But once they're on the lips, you really can't tell much of a difference. So let's go in with this. And it's not easy just getting it on one side. Okay, that's as straight as I could get it. That's the Charlotte Tilbury one. Now let's go in with the Revlon in Candid Rose. So again, it's a different finish. So this is a satin finish. This is a matte finish. But I'm going out this afternoon. As I say, I've got a doctor's appointment, so I do have to leave the house and I do have to go out. So I honestly don't think anyone is going to think, oh my goodness, she's wearing different makeup on the left and on the right side of her face. I mean, what do you think? Do you think anyone's going to think that about me? Please tell me if you do. I don't know. So anyway, this is it. This is the face on. I will do a check-in in a couple of hours' time, just so that you can see how everything has settled into my skin. We can see if anything has changed colour or anything like that. We'll see if, you know, has the mascara smudged, has anything bad happened. So, yeah, I will see you then. So it's been an hour and a half now since I put this makeup on my face, and as promised, I'm coming on to show you how we are doing. I have reapplied my lipsticks, just to tell you that, because I had a cup of coffee and they came off. So I have reapplied them. I'll take my glasses off as well so that you can see. Now, to help in this, I have a man present. Yeah, and I'm going to ask his opinion. So, hello, man.
Hello, woman.
Do you notice anything unusual about my face?
Not really. You're made up, clearly.
I am. Does it all look the same and nothing looks out of the ordinary to you?
Nope, it all looks pretty much the same to me. Can't see anything really different one side to the other.
Okay, well, how would you feel if I told you that I was wearing completely different products on the left side of my face than the right side of my face? Would that shock you?
Not particularly, because you do that kind of thing.
I do. Okay, but I mean, just if you saw me in the street, you wouldn't be...
I wouldn't know
You
at all.
Right, okay. Well, if I also tell you that one side of my face costs £258 more than the other side of my face, would that shock you?
It would tell me that you spend too much on makeup.
How dare you? Goodness me. Anyway, that's another discussion for another day, isn't it? Which side? So now that you know that, which side of my face do you think is the expensive side?
It's honestly too close to call.
Yeah.
I really don't know. And I know that, you know, maybe if you changed around the light,
Yeah.
that maybe one side will look a bit different to the other. That's inevitable.
Right, but just to look at me now in a normal room with normal lighting.
Seriously, can't tell.
Okay. If I had to twist your arm, which would you say is the expensive side?
I honestly don't know.
You don't know, do you?
There are differences,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't be able to judge which one was actually more
Yeah.
expensive or why.
All right, okay. Well, I'm not going to twist your arm because you need your arms. So there we go. So 2 hours in, if we take a close-up look at my face. So this is the affordable drugstore side, and this is the high-end side. Personally, after this length of time, I have not noticed any oxidization. I feel like all the colours of everything are still true to how they were when I first applied them. I haven't noticed any mascara or eyeliner smudging or anything like that. As I say, I did reapply the lipsticks because I was eating and drinking earlier, so they did wear off a bit. I have to be honest though and say that the Charlotte Tilbury side, it was visible more than the Revlon side. So I do feel that the Revlon side wore off quicker than the Charlotte Tilbury side. But, you know, is that a big deal? Is it a big deal to reapply your lipstick through the day? I don't think so, really, is it? But in terms of everything else and how it's looking, I think it's looking fine. I mean, the foundations, I can't get over how similar these foundations are. I think if anything, if I'm being very, very picky, I think the House Lab side looks a little bit more sort of luminous, s- slightly more sort of natural and skin-like. I think the L'Oreal side looks a bit more matte, um, if I'm being very, very picky. But yeah, I mean, everything else I think is looking absolutely fine. And I do have to go out soon, and I don't think anybody will be able to tell at all. So there we are. This is what we're looking like after 2 hours. So there you have it then. That is the end of the video, and I really hope you enjoyed watching it, and I hope you enjoyed this little experiment that I did. And I'd love to know your thoughts. What do you think? Have you used any of these products yourself? I think these days, if you want to save some money on makeup, you definitely can. And I mean, let's face it, you know, we're all in different financial positions, aren't we? We're all working with different budgets, and there are times when we all want to try and save a bit of money here and there where we can, aren't there? So, you know, you absolutely can do that these days with your makeup. Years and years ago, sort of 5-10 years ago, I don't think that was the case as much. I really don't. I mean, I know for myself, my foundation, it had to be Estee Lauder, you know, and I wouldn't use any mascara unless it was Lancôme. You know, I had my favourites from the high-end brands. And yeah, the drugstore, the quality just wasn't there at the drugstore back then, the way it is now. And yeah, you know, if packaging matters to you, if you like that luxurious feeling of having a high-end product, if you're treating yourself or if someone else is treating you, that's always very nice, isn't it? Yeah, I think that absolutely fair enough. Go for it. And again, the packaging tends to be more sturdy, it tends to be more luxe, more heavy duty. You would get sort of mirrors in your compacts with high-end packaging. It's less likely to break. I've spoke about this in previous videos a lot. Well, not a lot. I've had some drugstore products where the packaging has been light and flimsy and it has broken. Now that is an issue because then you have to replace the product because it's going to go off if the seal doesn't work anymore. So, you know, there are pros and cons, aren't there? Sometimes, I mean, not with these products that I use today, but sometimes with products like blushes or eyeshadows, with the more affordable products, the pigment isn't quite as strong and you have to build it up. You have to keep going back and, you know, building it up and building it up and working on it a bit more. That can be the case. But, you know, with some of the cost savings, is that such a big deal, really? I mean, I don't think so. I think, you know, if you're prepared to work a bit harder for it, then you can certainly save a lot of money. So yeah, anyway, it's just a fun little video. Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear it. And yeah, I'm going to leave it here for today, and I'll see you next time in my next video. Okay, thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.